The night it happened, the world outside her window was quiet in that heavy, lonely way that only truly tired people understand. Streetlights flickered over dusty rooftops. Car horns faded. The neighbor's generator hummed like a distant warning. And she sat in front of her old laptop, the one with a missing key and a battery that could die if you breathed too hard. Her name was simply known online as Sarah Designs, though no one knew her. In real life, she was just a young woman in a shared apartment, fighting with mosquitoes, deadlines, and the kind of exhaustion that comes from being overworked and underpaid. Her room was small, barely big enough for her bed, a plastic chair, and the wooden table she used as a desk. She kept a tiny sketchbook beside her keyboard. Inside it were hundreds of drawings, logo ideas, color concepts, product sketches, all the designs she wished the world could see. Designs she never posted because she always felt they weren't good enough. Every time she got close to sharing something online, her fear would whisper, "What if it's rubbish? What if they laugh? What if no one likes it?" So she kept her art hidden. That night she was working on a freelance job, a 10,000 Naira logo design for a small shop. She wasn't even getting paid up front. The client promised to send the money later. She needed the job badly, so she accepted it anyway. She wasn't designing for passion anymore. She was designing for survival. A half-finished cup of pap sat beside her. Her hands were stiff, but she kept pushing. She had promised herself that she would finish the draft before midnight. Her laptop froze. Again. She sighed, pressed Ctrl+S repeatedly, hoping it would save before crashing. Then her mouse slipped, and she clicked Upload. A bright pop-up flashed. File successfully uploaded to public marketplace. For 2 seconds, she simply stared. Wait, what? Public? She blinked hard. Her heart skipped. She immediately tried to undo it, but the internet was slow, spinning in circles like it enjoyed mocking her. She closed the tab, opened it, closed it again. Nothing changed. She had accidentally uploaded her personal design, not the client's draft, and she uploaded it to a global marketplace, a platform thousands of people use daily. Her chest tightened. That file wasn't meant for anyone's eyes yet. It was something she had drawn during a moment of inspiration. A smooth, elegant, minimalist logo, a symbol of wings made out of negative space. She loved it. It was perhaps her favorite creation, but she had never posted it because she wanted it to be perfect first. And now the world had access to it. Her thoughts spiraled. People will steal it. Someone will post it and claim it. What if someone uses it for something stupid? What if they think it's ugly? Her throat tightened as she tried desperately to delete it, but the site glitched and her old laptop froze again. Finally, she leaned back and let out a long, defeated breath. "It's late," she whispered. "I'll fix it in the morning." She shut the laptop and crawled into bed, expecting nothing, but the world had already found her. Morning sunlight crept through the small window, warm and gentle. Her phone buzzed lightly under her pillow. She grumbled, turning away from it. Buzz, 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 buzz. She sat up slowly. 53 notifications. Her sleepy eyes widened. She unlocked her phone and froze. "Your design just hit 10,000 views. Please, can we buy this logo? How much for the license? This is genius. We want to collaborate. Are you the original creator?" She blinked once, twice. The words still didn't make sense. She sat there sweating, her heart thumping. She clicked the marketplace link. Her logo, the one she wasn't confident enough to share, was viral. Not small viral, worldwide viral. Downloaded, shared, used. Her notifications exploded in real time. Marketing agencies, startups, app developers, e-commerce companies. Comments poured in. "This is the cleanest logo I've seen this year. Whoever made this needs a job at our company. This feels like a billion-dollar brand." Her hands trembled. Her eyes filled with tears she didn't understand yet. Fear, shock, disbelief, everything at once. She checked her email. 136 new messages. And at the top was one that made her breath stop completely. "Hello, we represent AirVantage Technologies. We would like to discuss purchasing the global exclusive rights to your design. Our offer begins at $2.4 million. She dropped her phone. Her chest tightened. Her throat closed. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. She was just a girl in a small room. A girl who barely had enough data. A girl whose laptop crashed every night. A girl who felt invisible. And somehow, by accident, the world had finally seen her. She whispered into the silence of her room, "What is happening?" That was the night everything changed. But she didn't know yet. The mistake wasn't the miracle. It was only the beginning. The day her life flipped upside down began with the sound of her own heartbeat echoing in her ears. She sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the email from AirVantage Technologies like it was a joke someone forgot to explain. $2.4 million? For a design she had created accidentally? For a logo she didn't even think was perfect yet? Her fingers hovered over her keyboard, shaking. Her mind was a storm of confusion. Don't fall for scams. Is this real? Why would a billion-dollar tech company want my design? She clicked reply. Her hands trembled with every keystroke. Hello. Yes, I am the creator. It felt unreal to write those words. Within minutes, they responded. We'd like to schedule a video call today. Please confirm your availability. Her heart jumped into her throat. She didn't even own a proper headset. Her laptop camera was blurry. She had nothing prepared. No portfolio, no confidence, not even trust in her own talent. But something inside her whispered, say yes. So she did. At 3 p.m. sharp, she logged in for the call, sitting upright, trying to hide the part of her room where the wall paint was peeling. She fixed her scarf, wiped sweat from her forehead, and pressed join meeting. The screen loaded. 4 executives appeared, sharply dressed, sitting in pristine offices with glass walls and city views. She swallowed hard. Hello, Sarah, one of them greeted warmly. We're very impressed with your design. She blinked. Thank you. Thank you so much. Her voice shook. We've been searching for a logo that represents freedom, mobility, and technology all at once. The woman on the right explained. Your design does all that, effortlessly. Another added, our team thought a famous design agency did it. We were shocked to find the creator was, well, he stopped, choosing his words carefully. An independent designer. She gave a small smile, even though her chest felt tight. They weren't mocking her. They were amazed. The meeting continued. They discussed usage rights, branding strategy, licensing terms, exclusivity contracts. Words she had only ever read online but never imagined applying to her. When they finally asked, our offer is $2.4 million for full global ownership. Do you agree? Her breath caught. $2.4 million. Just one design, one idea, one mistake. She didn't answer immediately. Can I think about it for a few hours? Of course, they smiled. We'll await your response. The call ended. She sat in silence, numb, still, trying to process the enormity of what just happened. Then her phone buzzed again. Another email, another company, another offer, then a third one, then a fourth. Her logo had not only gone viral, it had captured the attention of some of the world's biggest brands. She opened each message slowly, afraid her heart would give out. $850,000, $1.1 million, $1.5 million, $3.2 million. This one made her scream. Her tiny room felt like it was spinning. She had spent her entire life believing her designs were okay, average, not good enough yet. But the world disagreed. The world loved what she had created without trying. The world wanted her. By nightfall, she had received close to 1,000 emails, partnerships, licensing deals, collaboration requests, offers to work remotely for brands she had only seen on billboards. Agencies wanted interviews. Influencers wanted to feature her on podcasts. Reporters wanted her story. It was overwhelming, beautiful, terrifying. She locked her phone and placed it face down on her bed, pressing both hands to her chest to calm her racing heart. This can't be real, she whispered. Tears slowly slid down her cheeks. Not tears of fear, not confusion anymore, but the kind of tears you cry when the world finally sees the value you never believed you had. The next morning, she made her decision. She rejected every offer, except one. AirVantage Technologies. Not because they offered the most money, Other companies were offering more. But because they treated her like a professional, not a random artist they could exploit, she emailed them. "I agree." 10 minutes later, her phone rang. "Congratulations," the woman from yesterday said. "You're officially our new brand creator." The contract came in. Lawyers reviewed it. The money was processed. Her account changed from almost empty to a number she had only seen in movies. Her hands covered her mouth as she stared at her screen, trembling with disbelief. She wasn't poor anymore. She wasn't invisible. She wasn't just a small designer anymore. She was someone now, someone the world was watching. But here's the thing. Success didn't make her run. It made her work harder. She invested a portion of the money into better equipment. She upgraded her laptop, bought proper software, even moved into a slightly bigger apartment. But the real change wasn't in her surroundings, it was in her mind. For the first time in her life, she believed in her talent. She created more designs, not because she had to, but because she loved to, because she felt worthy, capable, powerful, and the world responded again. Her second design went viral, then her third. Companies lined up to license them. In just 7 months, she earned more money than she ever dreamed possible. She built a small team, hired other struggling designers, trained them, and created a tiny studio that slowly grew into something bigger. People began to whisper, "Who is this girl? How is she doing this? Where did she come from? Is she the next big thing in design?" And the answer was simple. She was just a woman who made one mistake that revealed everything she had been hiding. But as bright as her rise was, as fast as her world was expanding, there was something dark hiding behind her success. Something she never talked about. Something that would eventually define everything. For months, the world saw only her brightness. The girl who rose from nothing, the designer with the magic touch, the woman whose mistake became a billion-naira blessing. To everyone on the outside, her life was perfect. But no one saw the shadows she carried. Success had opened doors, yes, but it had also opened old wounds. It started with small things. The familiar ache in her chest whenever she was alone. The quiet fear that one day, everything she had could disappear as fast as it came. She had grown up with scarcity, with disappointment, with people who told her dreams were luxuries meant for richer families. Even after earning millions, she still saved empty jars, folded nylon bags carefully, turned off lights obsessively. Poverty had lived inside her for so long that even when she escaped it, echoes of it followed her everywhere. She never told anyone this part of her life. Not the people she hired, not the companies she worked with, not the reporters who wanted inspirational headlines. But it was always there, the heavy, invisible weight she carried alone. Her studio was growing. Her name was spreading through the design industry. Her followers were increasing. Brands from different continents wanted her style, her creativity, her mind. And yet, behind closed doors, she felt like she was drowning. One evening, she stayed back in the studio after everyone left. The room was quiet, filled with only the soft hum of her new high-end desktop computer. She stared at a blank canvas on the screen. The cursor blinked. Blink, blink, blink. Her fingers hovered over her tablet pen, but nothing came. For the first time since her rise began, she felt empty. What if that first design was just luck? She whispered, her throat tightened. What if I don't have anything else to offer? She dropped the pen. She felt like a fraud, a pretender, a woman who got lucky by mistake but couldn't live up to the miracle. Even with millions in her account, she felt powerless. She closed her eyes, and memories from years ago rushed back like a flood. Her mother shouting, "Design, design will not feed you. Go and study something useful." Her uncle laughing, "Logo? Who will pay you for drawing nonsense?" Her classmates mocking her sketchbook. Her teacher telling her she wasn't talented enough. Her ex-boyfriend saying, "You dream too much." She had buried all these voices, but now they came back. Louder, sharper, uglier. The more successful she became, the more those voices whispered, "You don't deserve it. You are not good enough. You will fail eventually. You're not special." She opened her eyes and found tears on her desk. A loud notification broke the heavy silence. Ding! A message from a journalist. "We would love to feature the emotional story behind your rise. People want to know the pain behind the success. She felt anger tighten inside her. Pain? They wanted pain? They wanted trauma packaged as inspiration? She deleted the message without replying. She didn't want to be a tragic story. She didn't want pity. She didn't want people focusing on her struggles instead of her talent. But running from the past didn't erase it. It only made the shadows grow darker. Her closest team member, Mai, noticed the change first. "You haven't smiled in days," he said quietly one morning. "I'm fine," she said quickly. He looked at her laptop, at the untouched designs, the false starts, the messy drafts. "You're not fine." She didn't respond. "You know," he continued gently, "success doesn't cancel what you've survived. It just gives you space to feel what you ignored before." She looked up slowly. He wasn't judging her. He wasn't pitying her. He was seeing her. She didn't cry. Not yet. But something in her cracked open. Later that night, she took a long walk. The streets were quiet. The air smelled of rain. She walked without direction, letting her thoughts unwind. Why was she afraid? She had money now. She had opportunities. She had talent. She had proof she was capable. But she also had scars. She ended up sitting on a wooden bench outside a small park. Children's voices echoed faintly in the distance, even though they had gone home hours ago. Maybe it was memory, maybe imagination, maybe loneliness. She closed her eyes and finally, she allowed herself to remember. She remembered being a little girl drawing on old newspapers because they couldn't afford sketchbooks. She remembered using broken crayons. She remembered hiding her drawings because she didn't want anyone laughing at her. She remembered crying silently after being told she was wasting her life chasing nonsense. She remembered feeling invisible. She remembered wanting so badly for just one person to believe in her. She hugged her arms around herself and cried in the darkness, softly, quietly, painfully. Not because she felt weak, but because she was finally letting herself feel everything she had ignored for years. Everything she had survived, everything success could not erase. When the tears finally dried, she felt lighter, like something heavy had finally slipped off her shoulders. And for the first time in months, she opened her sketchbook. The real sketchbook. The one she kept hidden even from her team. Page after page, she saw her old drawings. Imperfect, messy, raw, but deeply, beautifully hers. She smiled. She realized something powerful. The world didn't fall in love with her because she was perfect. It fell in love with her because she was real. Because her art carried years of emotion and struggle. Because her heart was inside her work. Her pain wasn't her weakness, it was her fuel. The thing that made her different. The thing that made her designs unforgettable. The thing she had been running away from, when she should have embraced it. She closed the sketchbook gently, stood up from the bench, wiped her face and said quietly, "I'm ready. Ready to create again. Ready to face the world. Ready to confront her fears. Ready to build something bigger than herself." But she didn't know yet. What she was walking toward wasn't just a comeback. It was the beginning of her billion-dollar destiny. The morning the news broke, Sarah didn't even know she was trending. She had woken up the same way she always did. Quiet, calm, and unaware that her life was about to twist again. She boiled water for tea, fed Milo the cat, and opened her front door to the sight of two things she didn't expect. A black SUV parked outside, and journalists at the gate. Two of them were already arguing with T1H security guards she didn't remember hiring. "Sarah Adams, is it true the company valuation has crossed $1 billion? Sarah, did you really turn down a seat on the global board?" She froze. $1 billion. What were they talking about? She pulled out her phone and saw hundreds of notifications, messages, tags, missed calls from her lawyer, her business manager, her ex-boss's sister, even her pastor. The top headline read, "The woman who became a billionaire by mistake." Her heart dropped. By mistake? She clicked the article. It explained everything in sharp, dramatic detail. The accidental registration glitch, the unexpected ownership transfer, the company's explosive growth under her hands, and the final twist. Her eco-friendly packaging idea had gone viral globally, making major corporations copy her model and driving her valuation through the roof. She didn't know whether to laugh or panic. Her phone rang again. this time her lawyer. "Sarah, we've been trying to reach you. The valuation crossed $1 billion this morning. The board wants to see you." And she interrupted. "Wait, what do you mean I became a billionaire today?" "Exactly that, overnight." She sank onto her couch. Everything felt unreal, like she was watching someone else's movie. The boardroom was cold, bright, and unfriendly. Dozens of eyes watched her as she sat at the far end of the long glass table. The chairman cleared his throat. "We owe you an apology, Miss Sarah." She raised an eyebrow. That was new. "You took a system glitch and turned it into a global breakthrough," he continued. "You saved the company, expanded it, improved it, and created our highest grossing product in 10 years. Murmurs followed. Some people clapped softly. Some didn't look happy at all. The chairman slid a document across the table. "We would like to make the ownership official, not by accident, not by glitch, by decision." Her hands trembled a bit as she scanned the papers. They were giving her full legal confirmation of everything she owned: shares, patents, rights, plus the authority to run the packaging division independently. "And," the chairman added, "we want to acquire your new eco-design formula for $40 million. She looked up sharply. "My what?" He smiled. "Your harmless pack formula. It's changing the entire industry. You built something the world actually needs." She wasn't sure what to say. All she did was scribble ideas in that big black notebook she carried everywhere. Yet here she was, being offered a deal actors only get in movies. She exhaled. "Let me think about it." But success never comes without enemies. That evening, a viral post appeared online. "She doesn't deserve it. She's not even experienced. It was luck, pure luck. She stole the company accidentally and now wants to act like a genius?" People she had worked with for years, people she thought respected her, were suddenly tearing her down publicly. She stared at the comments section, stunned, her hands curled into fists. She never claimed to be a genius. She never asked for recognition. All she ever did was work hard, quietly. Her phone buzzed again. It was a voice note from her former boss, the man who had yelled at her, dismissed her ideas, and forced her into the coding role she hated. She hesitated before playing it. "Sarah, I heard the news. Congratulations. Truly, I misjudged you. If you're open to it, I'd like to discuss returning to the team in some capacity." She paused the message. Returning? To that place? To the same people who had overlooked her for years? She deleted the recording without replying. 2 weeks later, she called for a global press conference. The hall was packed with reporters, influencers, analysts, and cameras from every major network. She stepped onto the stage wearing a simple black dress, natural makeup, and her hair tied back in a bun. Nothing flashy, nothing billionaire-like, just Sarah. She took a deep breath. "Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Adams. Some of you call me the woman who became a billionaire by mistake. But today, I want to explain something." The room silenced. There was a glitch. Yes, but the work that followed wasn't a mistake. The late nights weren't a mistake. The innovation wasn't a mistake. The courage wasn't a mistake. Flashes went off. Cameras clicked rapidly. She continued. "I didn't become a billionaire by mistake. I became one by preparation meeting opportunity. And most importantly, I refuse to let this be the end of the story." She held up a single envelope. "In this envelope is my answer to the $40 million offer for my formula." Everyone leaned forward. "I'm turning it down." Gasps filled the room. "I'm not selling it. I'm building it into a new company, my own." Cheers erupted in the hall. "And this company will focus entirely on eco-friendly packaging solutions for Africa and then the world. We'll create jobs, we'll support young innovators, and we'll make sure nobody with good ideas gets ignored the way I was." A young reporter raised his hand. "Why refuse such a huge offer?" She smiled gently. "Because money isn't always the point. Sometimes purpose is bigger." The room exploded with applause. Her new company launched 3 months later. The first day, they received 18,000 job applications, 3 partnership offers, and a government grant. Investors from China, the US, and Europe lined up like students begging a teacher for extra credit. Her eco formula became the most copied in Africa, and for the first time, global companies came to her for permission. She bought her mother a house, built a research lab in Lagos, and hired the same street vendor whose nylon bag had torn that day. The moment that sparked her entire idea. She walked into her new office one morning, dropped her bag on the desk, and looked around the room with a soft smile. "Imagine," she whispered, "all this from a mistake." She laughed to herself. No, not a mistake, a turning point. And as she stared out the window at the city below, buzzing, growing, alive, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. She wasn't scared anymore. She wasn't small. She wasn't overlooked. She was ready. The accidental billionaire who was no longer an accident.